Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Long Dark. I'm Kat, aka Koru and Thistle, and today we're continuing on with my year in the dark. Though I do have to have one caveat, and that is I've already done an hour of streaming today. Nearly. I did a bunch of a short chill stream for a year in the not a year in the dark, a short hike, and unfortunately, my child has woken up twice, so I don't know how long I'm actually going to get to stream. Continue to stream anyway. But yes. Just going to do a little inventory management, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do today. I think I want to go back to Quonset and get all my stuff. But yes, I'm not 100% sure I will get a much more of I don't know why I'm dropping good stuff. That's like a old habit of dropping good stuff to take the bad stuff out and about with me, but seeing I'm going to be aiming for cooking anyway, doesn't really matter if I care, you know, I'm happy to eat the good stuff and leave the bad stuff till I have a better cooking skill. Anywho, so yeah, I'm a bit out of sorts because I just played a bunch of a short hike. Thought I would finish the stream with this, and then the stream kind of like booted me off. So I've come back in, and I'm just gonna do this for a second. And I might have to look at my little journal in my app and see what my goals were to start with. I don't know why I'm carrying my rifle around. I think the bear was outside last time, at the end of the last stream. What else am I carrying around that I probably don't need to? Look at all this coffee. Huh. Don't need to carry that for sure. And I think I picked up... I'm just going to carry the jerry can, because that means if I do some fishing, it'll fill it up again for me. Cool. So I think I was doing tools over here. Yeah, this sort of stuff over here. So awkward as always on the PlayStation. I think I found more bullets too, which I'll... yeah, so I don't quite have a revolver yet, but I'm just going to drop a little bunch. Actually, probably drop 5, not 6, so that I have a full round when I find one. I love how it drops a little box. I think that's really well designed. Neat, 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 neat. Stop. I'm not doing that, by the way. That extra little movement, the game is just heading on. Yeah. Cooking pot. That's just a nice little extra. Whetstone. Should probably put my oven on because I am starving. It is 12:30 p.m. here, and I have not had anywhere near enough sustenance in real life today. So I should probably put the oven on and heat up something hot to have for lunch at least, because it is a cold, wet and windy day here today. Neat, 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 neat. Maybe if I turn it. Ah, that was perfect. Just do that. And one more? One more something? No? Is that everything? Okay. I think I left firewood in the fishing hut already, but let's just take a little bit. I think I've got some fish waiting for me there. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. So, do I want to go and loot misanthropes? And then, yeah, I might do that. I might go over the islands to misanthropes, and then go across to Quonset and pick up all my stuff. Have a quick drink. Let's really quickly put my stream in. In the Discord, if anybody wants to come over. Short stream today. I think the babe will be up soon. Here we go. Cool. Right, let's see if there's any bears outside to maul me in the face. No, okay. Heard him last time I came out, and that was right before I saved, so don't think he's far away. Let's go down onto the ice. Look at all those deer. Gonna have some fun hunting later. Some fish. Cool. What have I left in here? Oh, a can. Oh, okay. Yeah, stuff, the normal stuff that I don't pick up. Alright. I stabbed a wolf pretty badly last time, so I wonder if there's a wolf carcass somewhere. That's the person, which I've definitely searched. But yeah, the a wolf surprised me at the end of my last stream. What day are we on, out of curiosity? I think it's 7, yeah. Not quite a third of my way through my first location. Also, on my about page on my Twitch, I've added... Look. Here's the bear. I've added my proposed route for my year in the dark, by the way. Just heading to this hut because I realised I've never searched it. I have to think about where the revolver locations are in Coastal 2, though. Not desperate to find one immediately. It's just handy. And obviously when I move over to DP, I'll be looking to make a bow and arrows if I can. There's more revolver ammo. I don't actually have any tools yet. Take that. Okay. There's no shelves in this one? No. Alright. Interesting. Okay. Let's just island hop. Oh, let's not get too close to the coast. That was close. I was daydreaming. What do we got here? I always forget about beachcombing. Nice. Heard some quite high value items can wash up in beachcombing, but never been one to do it. Yeah, let's not sink. I suppose people, a good technique for beachcombing is probably to strip off. In case you do fall through. Can I go around here without the warning? Yeah, because there's a wolf right on the other side. Don't really want to be surprised by him turning back to me. Here he is. He's going to see me. Nope, maybe not. Maybe not right now. I think the range is definitely a lot closer. You have to be a hell of a lot closer in Voyager. And after playing like custom and stalker sort of games, I always forget that. And yeah, you can be a little bit... Hi, bunny. You can get a little bit closer. Could stone a bunny. Get some guts curing. Sure, I could rifle a bunny. That would be really mean though. I'm not great at this. It's been ages. The other one go. My goal is to get... Nah, that was terrible. To get all the achievements on PlayStation 2, and one of them is Stone Age Sniper. And I can't see myself getting that anytime soon, let's just say. Oh, I reckon that's the wolf on the ice there. Yeah, must be. Oh, the bunny was saying hi. Hello.
I'll take it.
How's my hat situation? 98, 97. Can put it in my... store it. Might go down and get that wolf. It's not cold. It's not far from a fishing hut. I think that's a good idea. There's no one else around apart from bunnies. And I'm not worried on this difficulty level about parasites. So let's do it. See if I can quarter it without being murdered. Oh! Carcass condition too low to harvest. I have never seen that before. So he's about to despawn, in other words. That's really interesting. That is completely new to me. Carcass condition too low to spawn. Wow. How in 5 years of this game does it still surprise me? Like, honestly, I've never seen that message before. Very cool. But I only shot him yesterday, so that's also very interesting. I didn't go looking for him. Go, 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 go. Oh, crap. That's PlayStation for you. It's not the pickup, you know, you have to sort of like do this a little bit sometimes on PlayStation, and it wasn't I did hover over him for just a second, but I didn't press it quick enough. That's why I like to shoot them with arrows, because it improves your archery, but also you don't have that problem. They just die. See, I have to kind of like... And this is with the sensitivity up pretty high. Just going to switch for a second. Out of paranoia. Alright. What am I hearing? Nothing. Okay. Hearing that kind of snuffling bear sort of sound for a second there, but I was like, not really near the bear. Did I leave anything in here? Out of curiosity. No, I don't think it did. No. Oh well, gotta save. Alright. Rose hips. No? Just shrubs. Who's dead over here? It's just a guy, isn't it, down the bottom? Yeah. I'll work that out. I'll get to him later at some point. going to be a nice day, I think. Yeah, look at that. Much nicer in the game right now than it is in real life. We've had days and days, maybe 4 or 5 days now, of thunderstorms. Which is wild because you normally have like 2 a year. But we've just had this crazy amount of weather. Just wild. Lightning and thunder. Really loud. Luckily the kids and the dog aren't bothered by it in the slightest. Because I know some people have like struggle with their pets being scared of thunder. Well, their kids, my son's kind of just curious about it at this stage. Which is interesting also because he's deaf. And his hearing, the hearing he does have, he's sort of got a partial hearing loss, and the hearing he does have is in lower frequencies. So normally rumbling low sounds would be what would scare him, but he's fine. We had a thunderstorm about a week after we got our dog. She wasn't bothered then, and 4 years later she's still not bothered. So we've just lucked out there. Because, you know, it's not that unusual for my kid or my dog to get scared by other things. So, speaking of my dog, she's quite cozily on the chair next to me. Happy as a clam. Loves it when I'm home all the time. Let's go to Misanthropes. Once I get to Misanthropes, I'm going to pause just for a second and put my oven on so that I can make myself a burger of some kind for lunch, I think. With a... That is a wolf. That is not a bunny. Yeah. It's just above that rock, I think. Or did he turn and go? No, there he is. He's chasing a bunny. I don't think it's just, it's not me, is it? If it is me, he's gonna get shot in the face. Get the bunny. Yep, poor bunny. Got him. And I get the money. Thanks.
Drop any of this gear.
Yeah, you're only just overweight, Astrid. You'll survive. Now, while I'm stinky, let's get into the house. I can leave the guts to cure. Pelts, etc. Make a note in my journal. He's gonna go die somewhere.
I've never been so hungry in my life.
Oh, Astrid, you're okay. You're about to have rabbit and potentially wolf meat. And you've got a bunch of snacks on you. You'll be fine. Oh, bear tracks. Awesome. Not ideal. Fresh bear tracks. Let's get inside. It's been up on the hill. Oi. Oh, stretch. Okay. 2 seconds, let me put my oven on. Cool. I also grabbed a cookie, which is why I took an extra couple of seconds just to eat that. Nothing worse than listening to me eat. So my philosophy is to loot everything. Don't want to take it with you, leave it by the door or in a storage container. Spray it so that you know that it's there, and that way when you are in later game, you don't have to just going to do little tiny bits here. Yeah, when you're in later game you don't have to go through every single cupboard and try and figure out what you left behind, and then you know when you've hovered over when you hover over a cupboard and it says searched, you know it's probably got a couple of things in it, either like
trees.
Oh yeah, I forgot to feed her. Either scrap metal or newspaper or something. You know, you've got something that isn't particularly vital that you carry around.
All I can think about is food.
Someone was saying in the Discord the other day that none of these places have stoves, which is a very good point. Like, I don't think I'd ever realised that there's no cooking facilities inside either of the houses on the islands, so that's annoying. So you have to do fires, but that's fine. We're gonna drop guts and the pelt. And we're actually gonna make them, I know this is gross, I'm gonna make them pretty obvious to find when I come back. And I'm gonna go to my actual in-game journal, which I don't use very often. Guts. The good thing about it is once you've typed the word a few times, ADHD. Why do I keep doing the H? Once you've typed the word a few times, the PlayStation does remember it, though I've never typed in Jamina. Undola Undele. So guts, and so if I go P, it might go pelt, yeah. Pelt. Miss Anne. The ropes. Cool. Remember that that's there. Let's go back to looting the kitchen. Oh, and I would pop out and cook the rabbit, but I have slight concerns about the fact that I saw fresh bear tracks when I came in, so we're just gonna give that a few minutes. Doesn't matter if the meat decays, obviously, it can go down to nothing as long as you don't put it in a container, because then it will disappear. Because when you cook it, it'll go back up to 50% quality, so there's no harm in carrying it around for a little bit. I don't care that I'm stinky in here. Cup of herbal tea, why not? Alright, I'm going to put the lantern back on so that I can see anything in corners. So I either search with the lantern on the whole time, or I just put it on at the last second and do this little cursory search in corners and underneath things and on the shelving units, etc. Excuse me. It's good for like underneath things. It just picks up little bits that you won't, you know, that'll blend into the house or the furniture.
Use this.
Alright, I'll break him down. Anything on top? Sometimes there's like knives stuck in top in the top of cabinets and things that you miss because you're not looking up. Oh, there's boots in the corner. So it's something that we do in real life as humans. We do not look up. So it's not surprising that in games sometimes we don't look up.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
I don't think these are better. I'll take them for now, especially not when they're worn. I'm just gonna accumulate a lot of this, this crappy clothing so that I have a good cloth supply for bandages and fixing my clothing. Nothing under the bed by the looks of it. Okay, let's get the soda and the water from the loo. And quite often if I decide to loot a house fully, and by fully I mean grab all the curtains, break down all the cloth that you find, like towels like this, destroy the furniture, I'll leave a note in my journal saying completely I have 100%ed, for example, misanthropes, and then I know that it's not a place to go back to try and find cloth or furniture or anything. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to do a bunch of cloth because I think it's important that I get myself a good supply of bandages and get my clothing in really good nick. Right, let's go down. I'm just going to hang out on the couch here for a second. Not quite. Almost looks like I am. Let's look at my clothing. Definitely picked up a hat that wasn't as good. My military coat needs repairing. All of this can be ripped up. Work gloves. I don't think anything really beats wool mittens when they're repaired. So I'm going to stick with wool mittens, and the work gloves are new, which is why I was wearing them. But wool mittens have like a really good, waterproofing. They're not as good in an attack, like 4% there. They don't slow you down though, which is helpful. Climbing socks best in the game. I don't think I can beat mucklucks with these. See, they're at sort of nearly halfway of their quality and they're only 0.7. They're a good, they're a 10% protection, but 5% is fine. So I'm just going to actually drop the mucklucks, not the mucklucks, the work boots for now. I'm going to rip up any sports socks later when it's dark. And work pants, I think cargo pants, I think work pants actually are better. Yeah, so I'm going to rip up probably or leave the cargo pants. So what I might do is go to this little cupboard here, seeing I've probably got a good stash of cloth now. Yeah, I've got 14 cloth, so I'm not going to do any more harvesting, but I am going to store the clothing that's quite good. So for example, the cargo pants are good. I don't need the sports socks or anything like that. But yeah, let's just stash anything that I'm not going to wear so that I know, and I'll spray the door with clothing so that we know that they're in here. Actually, I'm going to rip down the ragged work gloves because they're leather, and keep the new ones. Yeah, and then I've got a good base here to repair my clothes. I'm going to go up to the... I'm actually going to put the boots in there too. And we'll go up to the bed to do some repairing, so that I like to always repair next to a bed so that I can immediately sleep. Not going to grab any more curtains, but yeah, good to know. And yeah, I'll do a clothing spray paint on the door when I leave. Let's go up to bed. Would like to drop all the rabbit meat outside, but for now I'm just going to hold it on me for a night. It'll be fine. I'll just stink. Okay, so let's go by quality and let's repair. Oh, I didn't get rid of the hoodie. I missed a couple of items. Oh well. Let's actually just let's just harvest these. I can also leave cloth behind.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Right, let's do some repairing. When it's dark I can do the harvesting because you don't need light to harvest. Right, I really want to get this repaired. Yeah. Come on. I know you're tired, Astrid. Let's actually feed you first. I don't want to lose my well fed. think that aggressive bird tweeting that you may have just heard was actually outside my window in real life. That's funny. Cool. I love how the failed message for repairing shows up for way longer than it needs to in PlayStation at the moment. So for example, that was from that first failure. I then went into the food menu. See, it's not showing failed now. But when I go to eat something and then go back to the home screen, it'll show failed. Oh, now it's too dark. And, oh, it's okay. Well, and failed. Look. So I think it's struggling a little bit. I don't know whether it's a recent update or whether it's just me having bad luck, but yeah, definitely had some issues with PlayStation, shall we say, in the last few months. Right, I don't see any reason to eat the crappy food. Let's have a good can of condensed milk. Cool. I will keep the can for now. I'll keep a little stash back at base. I don't see myself... I mean, if I decide to go on past a year and I come back here, then obviously I'll have a good stash. So I'm not closed-minded about potentially doing that later. Can I make bandages in the dark? I can. I forget. Sweet. Now I probably have a good stash of them. 6. Yeah, that's too many, but that's fine. Right. So now I'm past... Yeah, I'm at kind of a 9-hour, 10-hour sleep time. So let's do 10. Should be nice and light. Well, light enough to repair anyway. So let's quickly eat these really high quality sardines. And where's my water? There. Drink my water. And then let's see if we can get that jacket repaired. Oh, it was the pants, sorry. Sooner I get these skills leveled up, the better. Oh, lost that sewing kit. It's fine. Gloves. Using fishing tackle now. Not ideal. I must have left the sewing kits behind. Yeah, I must have just been carrying one with me. Okay, I'm not going to be doing any more repairing until I pick up my actual sewing kits. Though you can do quite a lot of repairing with the fishing tackle, and then once the fishing tackle's at really low quality, still fish with it, because the quality of the fishing tackle doesn't actually affect whether it breaks or not. Alright, I do want to carry on. I'm just going to... There's only one door out of here, eh? There's no little side door I can poke my head out. No. Okay, let's poke our head out and see if there's a bear. The moose sign. See how clear it is? Not clear. Okay. Dropping on my rabbit. Maybe I should cook up my rabbit. Can I do it in here? Do it just outside the entrance? Don't want to use my accelerants for now. Don't have any books, do I? I only have books I haven't read. Alright. Nice. I think I only have one pot. Yeah, I left the other one. Yeah. Oh yeah, I made tiny little bits, didn't I? Try and get the harvesting skill up. Only downside of a pot is you can't just pick up and move it to the fire. You have to pick it up. Have it in your inventory. That's fine. So mending's 2 already, that's great. Huh. Rock caches. 7% of the world explored already. Hopefully this day clears up because I would like to get over to Quonset. Get all my, well, I say all my stuff, but I don't think it's a massive amount of stuff. What have I got on me in terms of like tea and 1 tea. Don't really need any coffee, not really doing a lot of travelling obviously. Staying in one spot. Plus cooking larger pieces of meat, I do like repairs and stuff in the meantime as well, but don't want anything to burn. Right, so I've probably got 50 minutes if I wanted to do anything like that. 1 hour and 26, don't want that. 43 minutes? Ah, that's right, I wasn't going to repair anymore until I got my sewing kits. That was really good timing. And
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
looks like the day is clearing up a bit. Meh. I think that bounced at my feet. Yeah. That's also garbage, so let's add it back into the fire. Wow, this is a good one. Alright, let's just have a very cautious look around. We already know the bear has been up the hill. I'm gonna go down this side for a second, figure out where he is. Because it's been a long time since I have seen bear tracks right outside Misanthropes. Not on the island right now. So has he walked out? It's a deer. I wonder where he is. I really don't want to be mauled. PlayStation's really loud. It's actually masking anything. You know, certain frequency. Is that him there? Or is it? Oh fuck. What did I do that for? That is dead. Is that my dead wolf? Or is that the bear sleeping on the ice? Because I've heard that is a thing. And I have never, like... I mean, I've played this game for like 5 years. But I don't generally hang out. It's only been the last year or two that I've hung out in Coastal more often. And I've heard that he likes to just sometimes take a nap on the ice and look like he's dead. People have walked up to him and gotten a big fright. So that would be hilarious. Oh well. I was using this torch for wolves, but obviously now it's almost used up. It was kind of pointless. I got asked yesterday, or a couple of days ago, what is my plan when I die? Am I going to start over? And the answer to that is probably yes.
I could eat a horse. That's saying a lot, because I love horses.
I was going to I was going to head over to Quonset. Sort of by way of the coastal houses, but if that is genuinely him sleeping on the ice, that is not something I am doing. I'm gonna go to this fishing hut. Don't know if I've been to this one yet. Oh, this is the one with the door, so I do not think so. Stinky I am with the rabbit meat one. Just go in here.
Perfect.
Nice. Accumulating more tools. Alright. How heavy am I? Only a couple of kilos over. I think I'm just going to eat a bunch of rabbit meat, and that way I'm not worried about stinking, and it'll take some of the weight off. These tiny, tiny pieces. Some of them are so small that the energy to eat them is more than actually eating them. I have actually eaten rabbit pieces so small that my eating meter goes down again while I'm eating it. Like, that's barely moving. Okay, just overweight now. I reckon I'm gonna run into the bear in the town, and he's gonna scare the shit out of me. Fascinated, because that does look, it's too big to be anything else. My wolf carcass wouldn't be seen like that for miles. Speaking of which, he'll be over there somewhere. It's dead deer on the ice there, but that is a big fat mound that I can see all the way from over here. So I think the bear is sleeping on the ice. That is fascinating. One, two, three, 4 wolves. Good lord. Could shoot and make them all scatter, but no point wasting ammunition just yet. Now, this is the way I approach. I was going to say that's a cairn, but it looks like one piece of coal buried in the snow. This is the way I quite often approach town. Just do a little cheeky check. Because I've been surprised many a time. I'm going to go into this wee house here, and then I might loot the one on the coastline. And then we'll get to Quonset and we'll call the stream a day, I think. Shivering. Oh yes, I had that recently. In my Hopeless Rescue play, I got towards the end, I got startled by a bear outside the plane because I was talking to chat. And while I was trying to wait him out inside the plane, I got very cold. Oh, coffee. And Astrid started to shiver quite dramatically whenever I pointed the rifle. And if you haven't noticed, I point the rifle at things in game to talk to chat about things. I'm like, over there, and I aim the rifle. So my rifle was shuddering like mad. And I kind of forget that's a thing so much in Voyager because your clothing's normally so good and the world is not quite so cold that you don't get it as often as you do in other difficulties, for sure. Alright. It's kind of a useless kitchen. Crappy driving gloves. A lot of this game is just... well, a lot of watching people stream this game is just watching people loot. Which I'm sure isn't that thrilling, but every now and then you find something good. And you get to listen to my inane banter. Jeans! No, thank you. And what do we got here? Ooh, another thick wool sweater. See? There we go. Bingo. Oh, and I never painted outside Misanthropes that there was clothing. So 1 second. Guts and pelt Misanthropes. I'll just do... and... clothes. Cupboard. Cupboard. Thank you for trying to predict what I'm saying. PlayStation. Right, because I never sprayed it. Now I know that they're there. Cool. Alright, water from the loo. Wool long johns. Nice.
This will come in handy.
More, right, that's just cloth really, so don't need that right now. I will change my long johns over. Both 99, so I'll just drop one. Even more new ones to drop. Alright, I might need a note about this place or a spray can.
I think I can use
No.
this.
When I'm later on if I'm desperate for clothing. Or cloth. Oh, I'm getting stiff. Hunching forward. Can't remember where that other door points to. Oh, no thank you. Just get the coffee. Just gonna drink it. Keep me going. Alright. I do like all the new little tips that come up on the loading screens. Noisemakers, a lot of stuff around Blackrock, obviously. Let's walk towards the wolves. This house isn't very often here, so it's quite cool. It'll be the same as many others, but quite often this is burned out for me, so it's a novelty to occasionally have differences in the map. Hey, sorry if I mispronounced this. Call me KY137. Yeah, I can explain the Long Dark a little bit to you. It's a it's basically a survival game. So I'm on... Awesome, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. I'm on the second difficulty, so not the very most basic
This stuff will come
difficulty.
in handy.
So it's kind of like standard difficulty mode, and you've got meters in the bottom left, if you can see, which are your warmth, your tiredness level, your thirst, and your hunger. And you just have to sort of explore the world, trying to survive and keep those meters from going too low. And then your health is the bottom left. And there are wolves and bears that can get you. And you can hunt deer and rabbits. And honestly, I've played it for 5 years and I've never gotten bored with it. I'm currently playing in survival mode, which is the open world sandbox mode, but there is an awesome, in my opinion, story mode called Wintermute, which helps you with the game mechanics and also has a story to it and takes you through the world and has cutscenes, etc. It's awesome. I really, really like it. And story mode is a really great way to learn the game as well. So if you do get it, which I highly recommend you do, play through story mode and see what you think of it. And then you can do survival mode. They actually originally brought the game out with the purpose of doing story mode and added the sandbox survival mode. And the sandbox survival mode was so popular that they've spent the last 7, nearly 8 years providing free updates for it. And it has just gotten better and better with new locations and regions, and it's been amazing. And now they've decided to start doing DLC stuff coming out soon, which they will charge for, but the actual base game has so many hundreds of hours of worth in it. What am I doing? That even if you got it and then never paid another cent for the next couple of years, you would, still get your money's worth 10 times over, in my opinion. I can't believe that I've paid for this once and had all the content that I've had. And also it has challenges. There's little challenges to get you through. Like, I just finished one called Hopeless Rescue, where you have to get from one region, go find a flare pistol, and get to another region, which sounds very simplistic, but you have to travel through multiple areas while keeping your character alive and happy. And then there are badges that you achieve by doing a certain amount of stuff in the game. There's just so much to it. But I highly, highly recommend it, especially if you can get it on sale, or quite often it's in Steam sales and Epic sales. I've seen it in PlayStation sales. And I missed these. And play through story mode. And that'll give you a real feel for how to manage the character in the game. That's my spiel. But also a thing to note, that the game, apart from story mode, the survival game, which is why I recommend you do story mode first, the actual survival game does not hold your hand. You have to kind of just figure it out. It's not going to give you little tutorials. When you launch to a new survival play, it's not going to suddenly explain every little aspect of what you should be doing. You really need to sort of figure it out as you go, and a lot of people love that, but some people find that quite challenging. Yeah, it is a do what you want kind of thing. I'm doing this. What I'm doing right now is I'm calling it a year in the dark. I'm literally trying to make my character survive a full year in game. I'm on day 8. A day in the game is 2 hours of real life gameplay, and I'm spending, there's 12 major regions. If I bring up the map for you, if I go to world, there's 12 major regions with some transition zones. So at the moment I'm in Coastal Highway. So, hang on. Can I zoom? No. I'm in Coastal Highway, which is down the bottom there. And I'm trying to spend 30 game days in each of the major regions, just as a challenge to myself, and because the longest I've survived in the game is 250 days, and I thought that would be a really cool challenge to try and last a year. But yeah, the world is your oyster. There's also an incredible community online. So if you have any questions whatsoever, there's basically Reddit, there's Discords. I highly recommend, if you look up a guy called Zaknafein, or Zaknafein, I think it's Zaknafein. So Zaknafei. I'll actually shout him out in the chat. He has amazing tutorials. He plays on quite a high difficulty, but he also has, oh crap, I think it's actually Styles Acnafine, my fault. He has I'm on cooldown with myself. He on YouTube as well, if you search for him. He has amazing tutorials on how to play the game on easy and harder difficulties, and also on through challenges, etc. I'm going to click 1 second. I hope I've just shouted out the right person. Yes, I have. Styles Acnafine. Yeah, he's amazing. There's also a really cool YouTuber called Accurise. His handle is Accurise2, and I recommend that he is well worth following too. Yeah, so that's my that's my spiel. Thank you for coming over and watching and asking about the game, because I will talk about the game until my face turns blue. Just going to dump. What I'm doing right now is just dumping some stuff that I really don't need to be carrying around, and I'm going to mark the door of the house that I'm in so that I remember that I've stashed a bunch of stuff here, because I'm about to go get a bunch of loot that I left at a I'm going to stash that too at a nearby gas station, because I want to bring it back to my main base, which I've just set up on the other side of the map, other side of the ice. And I dumped a bunch of food that wasn't high quality, because if you leave, everything in the game degrades ever so slowly, and if you leave food in containers inside this cabinet, for example, and don't come back to it till well later, it may disappear. Once something reaches ruined status, it does just disappear out of existence if it's in a container. If it's just on the floor like this, these can go to 0% and be ruined. But when I come back, I can come back later when I have something called cooking level 5 skill, and when you've reached level 5 you can eat anything. Before that you've got a risk of getting food poisoning, which is managed by having antibiotics and resting quite a lot. If you don't take the antibiotics, you'll slowly sort of get worse. But yeah, I was just going to go over to the gas station now, and there might be a bear in the way, which is why I've got my rifle out. Hoping I don't get mauled in the face by a bear. There's a bunch of wolves out on the ice where there were. Oh, they've gone. So there's a deer carcass there I could go and loot if I wanted to, but I'm just gonna... Oh, it's windy. So I've come over this hill a few times and been face to face with a bear, so I'd really rather not do that today. Let's just creep around here, see if we can see him, or hear him. Actually is usually the first sign. Can't hear any snuffling. It's a good sign. Can't see anyone. Excellent. Let's go over to the gas station. I actually haven't looted all these cars yet. There's always stuff in cars around here. And I'm nearly at an hour, which is longer than I intended. I've done nearly 2 hours of streaming today, which is, I know not long for most people, but for me it's quite long because my small child is asleep and I was expecting her to have interrupted me by now. So I've already looted in here everything, haven't I? Yeah, I've just left everything in the lockers, I think. Yeah, just double check in here. No, I have. Might get this spray paint. Yes, it is a single player game. You collect stuff. I'm collecting a lot. Normally, as you work through the world, you don't have to loot absolutely everywhere that you go. But I have been, because I want it all to be in my base over the other side of the lake. Because I'm spending only a short amount of time in each region, 30 days. That way, if I ever come back through here, I can just go grab all my stuff. But it's just, you just usually just collect what you need to survive. I'm just being particularly anal about everything that I pick up and search, to think about the long-term game. Once you've been in the game a very long time, it is everything in the world does degrade and disappear. So if you ever look up anybody who's played the game, like I think Zach has reached 1,030 days or something. So his gear in the game, everything has degraded. You have to repair, for example, here's all my fire making inventory, here's my first aid stuff, and here's all my clothing. So there'll be a certain point where my clothing is degrading so much that I can no longer repair it because there's no cloth left in the world, for example. And people you can make clothing out of rabbits, deer, bears, etc. You can make a moose hide satchel, so there's definitely a good crafting element to the game. But yeah, so you kind of, it depends on how, because I'm thinking sort of long game, I'm trying to make sure I know where things are so that if I come back to this area, I can just find everything. But yeah, this is the loot I've come back to get. This is stuff I accumulated in the beginning of the game. There's an extra bedroll, which is really handy because they're only, you start the game with one, but once it wears out, that's it. You have to go find another one. You can repair it if you keep on top of it. In higher difficulties, such as the highest difficulty for the game is called Interloper, you do not start with a bedroll, you do not start with any matches, you don't start with any gear, and you have to just try and survive. You have to make all your tools. You're not going to find weapons. Like I've got a rifle and I can also find a revolver, but you can't do that in the higher difficulties. There's no guns. So yeah, people who play, in my opinion, people who play Interloper are absolutely hardcore. And it's not something that I ever want to do to myself. I played it once for the achievement and then I left it behind. So I want the sewing kit. So also, I'm not taking the shell casings right now, but I should make a note that there are shell casings in the locker here, because if I want to make my own ammunition later, then I can do that. But you have to go to particular regions to make your own ammunition, and I'm not going to be doing those for quite a while. Let's just make myself a note. Oh. Shell casings. Garage. It's painful on PlayStation. So there wasn't as much stuff as I remembered storing here. I've actually found better loot since I left here. So while I made this sort of expedition to get whatever I'd left here, it wasn't as good as I remembered. But that's fine. I'll just go back over now and I can put everything in my base and I know what I've got. And I'll remember that I need to spray that little house that I left before to remember that I've stored stuff there, because I don't want to be too overweight. I'm already 5 kilos overweight. And that does slow you down, for example, when you're running from bears. Did I do all of these? I did. So it's just one file. Okay, no, I missed. But my technique, a lot of people just like to leave things and make notes. I like to try and loot as much as possible and leave it in one space so that when I come back to that map later, I know exactly where it is. After everything degrades, do you have to start again or not? On this difficulty level, I'd have to play hundreds of days. I think I'd have to best go over my year to have everything degrade. The difficulty is, by the time I get to, I'm going to go through all these areas, these 12 regions. By the time I get to the 12th region, everything in that region will have degraded quite significantly. So it won't be very high quality. But by then I should have the skills to repair most things, and I should have the cooking and eating sort of skills to eat anything that's down at 0. If it's in a container, it will have disappeared out of the world. So by that point you then start to rely on hunting. There's 4 wolves on the lake right now, so for example I'd have to kill all the wolves in this world over and over and over and over, because they do respawn, for the game for them not to be available to me anymore. But I don't even think that happens in this difficulty level. But if I played in Voyager, the highest difficulty level, eventually all the wildlife in the world is gone. It's incredibly cold. It gets colder as time goes on, and just thinking, is there anything crucial I want to take? Otherwise, no. And things like plants don't respawn. For example, in this picture here, you can see there's something called cattails on the left there, and in the middle there's rosehip plants. So those, once you've picked them, they do not come back. So to survive long term in the game, you need to move region by region. You need to pick a region clean, live in it for a while by hunting, fishing, and the like. And then when you run out of, say, saplings to make your arrows, if you're doing bow and arrows, or you've run out of food and hunting isn't proving to be useful for you anymore, then you can move on to another region, and there will be a fresh amount of, there'll be cattails to pick in that region. And so the world does steadily become crueler over time, but on this difficulty level, I think you'll find I'll get to my end of my year, and there'll still be stuff I have not picked up. There is an incredible amount of stuff in this game, and the lower the difficulty you're on, the more there is available to you, obviously. But right now, see, I'm not cold. It feels like 15 degrees because I've got good clothing already. In Interloper, right now it might be minus 20, and I may only have degrees that clothing that helps me gain 5 degrees. So I would have to be, for example, probably leaving that area, that garage, or garage if you call it, and going towards this fishing hut, starting a fire, warming up, moving on, starting a fire, warming up, moving on, fighting off predators, moving on. I'm on a lower difficulty because I just enjoy more of the relaxation aspects of the game as well, and I'm not looking to constantly be on the brink of death. I like to explore the game, set up a base, hunt, fish, watch the sunsets, then travel to the next region. You know, that's kind of my goal here. But yeah, there are so many videos out there, but I honestly recommend you just jump right in if you can get a game, especially if you can get it on sale and see if you like it, and play story mode and see if you get a real feel for the game. Or, you know, just watch a whole bunch more people. Most of the people who stream The Long Dark or make videos of The Long Dark only play The Long Dark. Like, I've played a lot of video games over the years, but this is the one that I always come back to. Each time is different, each game is different, each day is different. Like, you know, the bear may spawn. The bear will spawn in a couple of different locations when I've started this game, but, you know, he may surprise me. I don't know where the moose is going to spawn. There is a moose I can hunt. I don't know where I'm going to find a revolver. The weather's going to change, you know, 5-6 times a day. I don't know whether I'm going to get caught in a blizzard. There's also something called an aurora, because in the story mode, what's happened is your plane has crashed because there's been a geomagnetic weather event and it's brought down your plane. That means all electricity on the island doesn't work. But when there's an aurora, you know, the northern lights in the sky, all the electric things in the game come to life very briefly. You can't drive a car or anything, but if you get inside a car, the radio will play. The lights will come on. The wolves and the bears are much harder. They attack you much more ferociously. But yeah. So on the difficulty I'm playing, it's very much a set up a base, try and survive, keep alive. Don't, you know, I still have struggles with wolves and bears. You know, I still may die. But if you want something more challenging, then there's a mode called Stalker, which is a mix between this and the hardest difficulty. And you'll find that in that the wolves are quite aggressive, the loot is less plentiful, the weather is more changeable, so that definitely gives people a challenge. And that's kind of like if you're ranking them, you know, for example, Pilgrim is easy, like nothing attacks you in Pilgrim. If you want to fight with a wolf, you have to go up to it and fight it. Everything runs from you normally. Then the step up is kind of like Voyager, which is what I'm playing, which is kind of normal. And then your Stalker would be hard, and your Interloper would be very hard or extremely hard, or, you know, one of the more challenging higher difficulty levels. And because there's also a custom settings, people play something called No One Gets Out Alive or No Goa, where they take Interloper and they tweak the settings in the custom menu and they make it so that the game is absolutely punishingly brutal. Like, you don't regain health. The weather is more changeable. You start at night in a blizzard, so you have no idea where you are. Yeah, that's definitely not for me, but that is definitely something that people like to play on as well. There's a lot of custom codes, so when you start a new game and go to the custom menu, you can tweak everything, and if you tweak the settings in a particular way to your liking, then that will generate a code, and you can say to people, hey, this is the mode I'm playing on, this is the code, and you can share it with others, and they can play in that difficulty, those settings as well. Oh, I thought I went in this house earlier. Nope, must have gone in here. Alright, we're resting here for the night. But yeah, so there's custom settings as well, but you can also play the story mode on 3 difficulty settings. There's like a really easy, just go through the story, get to know the game, enjoy it. Then there's like a regular mode, and then there's a interloper style hard mode, which makes story more challenging too. So yeah, I have seen it regularly come out on like for free, included with like, not like PlayStation Pass, but like Epic Games passes type thing. I don't really play on Epic, so I don't know. Steam sales, sometimes I've seen it really cheap. So I would watch some videos from Zach maybe. He plays on real punishing sort of difficulty levels. And then if it's not for you, it's not for you. But yeah, I love it, and I've never gotten sick of it. And I've now talked about it for half an hour straight since you came in. So what I am going to do though, folks, I am going to save my game here by sleeping. That is how you save, or entering a building. I am going to save. I'm going to make myself some lunch. I'm going to eat my lunch while my child continues to snooze because she's having a nice long nap. And then I will be back on Friday, New Zealand. Oh no, actually I am going to stream tomorrow. This was a bonus stream today. I am going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to start sort of 11:30 a.m. New Zealand time, which is about 7:30 p.m. East Coast American time. And I'm going to just be carrying on with this series. I may end up having to start later. I think I may have an appointment that may run late tomorrow morning, so we'll see what happens. And then I've got my usual stream on Fridays as well. And I've been playing different games on the weekend, just like really chill, low-key games, like A Short Hike. That's what I played this morning, actually, for a bit of fun. I've got that Behind the Painter game, Behind the Frame. And I was going to replay Oxenfree, because it's one of my favourite games of all time. So I do that sometimes on the weekend, just for chill. But yeah, my Long Dark series does go onto my YouTube, so if you want to catch up on any of the other times that I've played through the Long Dark, or how the last challenge I played, etc., they're all on YouTube. So it's the only thing I put on YouTube. Everything else just stays on stream. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day here. I don't like leaving with a dark screen, so let's just pass time for a little bit. Yeah, if I can find the bed again. No, that's the shelf. This is the fun part about the dark. I'm just going to put my bedroll down and do it that way. I'm going to get myself some light. See what the weather's like before we finish for the day. Cool, let's sleep. I'm not going to get 3 hours, but let's put 3 in. I don't have, because I'm fairly new to YouTube, I don't have a custom URL for YouTube yet, but if you search Koru and Thistle on YouTube, you will definitely find me. It's also linked on my Twitch page, I believe, somewhere, on my About maybe. If I had the link to hand, I probably could put it in the chat. I should probably make a little command though. I'm still quite new to streaming, so I haven't got everything set up quite as sleek yet as others. That's a shelf. Where's the door? At the door? No. They're down here. Oh man, I need the lantern. I think you need to hit a certain amount of YouTube followers before you get a good YouTube URL. Anywho, let's leave this lovely blizzardy view as my last look. I probably won't be travelling much until this eases up next time, but thank you very much for coming in today. As always, yeah, this all goes on my YouTube. Otherwise, back tomorrow and Friday, New Zealand time that is. I'm always a day ahead of everybody else. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I really appreciate you watching. You're very, very welcome for the info too. I will talk about the long dark forever.